Riggle here.
I'm Darren Leader.
Welcome back to Riggle's Picks. We are so lucky today because we have a very special guest, someone who makes me laugh every time I watch.
Honestly, I'm just going to say it. This is no BS. One of the funniest people I've ever seen on screen. And I do not
say that lightly. Yeah.
It's amazing, actually.
Yeah. I have yet to see anything that this person has done without being completely pleased.
You're not talking about yourself again, are you?
Yes.
Okay. He does
that
all
also,
the time.
we have an amazing guest joining us. No, Jillian Bell,
yes!
everybody. Come
Jillian
on.
Bell.
Give it up for Jillian.
Oh my gosh, that praise.
Well, it's
so
it's true, and it's very well deserved, in my opinion.
Very sweet. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. How's everyone doing?
Well, I'm doing great. Darren, I can't speak for him. And Gary, who's normally one of our engineers, has just disappeared. We assume he's drunk again, probably.
Or abducted.
One of the
Gary, Gary died, guys.
What?
Shit.
I know. They told me to tell you in the waiting room, and I was like, this is heavy to walk in my first time with you.
Yeah, they shouldn't have put that on you.
Why would they
I don't know. They said it would be funny, so I was like, okay. But now I'm seeing it's real.
I mean,
it's kind of hilarious.
It is kind of. I hadn't thought about the
I'm getting it.
I'm
getting it.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about the funny part of it. But
well, thank you for that.
But I'm sorry they put that on you. They shouldn't have put that on you. That's crazy.
I'm here to help.
Yeah, you're the best. Thank you for jumping in there. And we got Claire, though. Claire is with us today. So
she's very talented, and she is taking the place of Gary, which is not good for Gary because she's doing a great job, and I don't think we need him anymore.
I didn't say that, Gary, by the way.
I have to say, well, Gary's dead.
Yeah.
The background you have going on, the heart pendant.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, I know it sounds like I'm blowing smoke. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. It's a nice thing.
Can I also ask, is that the heart of the ocean?
It seems like it, right?
Yes.
It does look like it. No, it's like it's not. I wish it was.
Does it have water in it?
I do reenact that scene though a lot and go. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
The older woman did.
the little.
If you watch it, it's so like she's like she said to James Cameron, "Can I give it like a little bit of sauce?" Because she just goes, like there's too many.
And at the moment when she asked that, Cameron was at Video Village and he was blowing on a hot cup of coffee, and he didn't really hear her, and he was like, "Yeah, that's fine, that's fine."
He didn't know what he signed up for.
He didn't know what he agreed to.
Yeah,
and then she just kept doing it.
She goes, one more. This is how I always plan on talking when I'm older. Is I go, hey, one more take for the old bat. Yeah.
That is good.
That's what I want to say when I'm older.
Hey, I want to kind of pick your brain a little bit about your new. You have a film out, right? It's Summer of '69.
Yes, I directed it. It's my directorial debut.
How was the experience?
Congrats.
The highlight of my career. It was
really.
Yes, it was the most creatively fulfilling and terrifying and wonderful things I've ever been a part of, and now all I want to do is direct. I just loved it. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that you said that, I got to ask. So, what scared you, and then also what pleased you the most?
What pleased me the most was every single part of it, because I thought there would be one part of it where I would go, okay, so I don't like, prep or editing, but I love shooting, but it's like, no, I liked all parts of it. I think the only part I don't like are Q&As at the end of the movie.
This part, this right here, what we're doing right now.
No, not.
I don't like podcasts.
When the podcast, I hate it, especially when it's a couple of guys.
God dang it, we did it again.
No, the Q&As after like movie screens, and you're like, the pressure to say something profound and like, I don't know, but the rest of it I loved.
So you wrote it. You wrote this movie, correct?
I co-wrote it. I got it a draft of it, and I said, I see so much of it. I'm not calling my sister a stripper, but I see us in the relationship, the dynamic between the two ladies. And my sister and I are 5 years apart, and I was like, I really want to take a pass at this and sort of make this a coming of age of two different aged women, which I hadn't really seen before. And and kind of subvert it. We've seen a lot of teen comedies where it's like the girl wants the guy or the guy wants the girl, and will they get them? And I really wanted to be like, okay, that's kind of our in, but then it really becomes about female friendship. So that's what attracted me and made me want to work on the script and then eventually make it. And I'm so proud of it.
So
That's awesome.
is the relationship, because you said it may, or it has elements of you and your sister.
Yeah.
Is it a mentor mentee relationship kind of?
Yes, yeah. It's basically the movie is about a sexually inexperienced teenager who hires a local stripper to help her land the guy of her dreams.
Okay.
And
So awesome.
basically, like growing up, my whole growing up was me just asking my sister, is this normal? Just over and over again to everything that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
So I think I was just like, oh, okay, this is a good place to sort of put that innocence and that older sisterly relationship. I just was like, I want to put that in a movie because my sister and I are so, so very close. And this felt like the right movie.
Yeah.
Is your sister in entertainment?
Yes, she's my producing partner.
Oh, that's awesome. So you guys got to do the entire thing together.
Yeah, yeah. This was our first movie that we got to produce together, and now it's like all we want to do is just keep making
That's
movies.
so cool.
Yeah.
That's so fun. What a great opportunity to get to work with your sister
Yeah.
on something like that. Where did you shoot the film?
In Syracuse, New York.
Okay.
Yeah, we shot it with American High, which is a production company, and they bought a high school in Syracuse. And so their production company is in the high school and they also shoot there. And so it's like this amazing opportunity to get
Wow,
to
that's
work
smart.
with, yeah, first time filmmakers and first time writers and just have everything kind of be in one location. And obviously you go outside the high school, but honestly, to just have that as your home base is so cool and so different and weird.
You mentioned they're a first time filmmaking company, right?
Yeah, well, they bring in a lot of first time filmmakers. Yeah.
Were they obviously you sounded like you had a great time. Did they kind of carry you through the process a little bit? I mean, when you needed carrying, were they?
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing is they were there for all of it. It's sort of like having a wonderful safety net. And then they allow you to do your thing. Like there were a lot of times where if I was like, oh gosh, we are running low on time and I really want to get this shot, but then we also have this. And then they would talk out, pros and cons of things. But a lot of the time when I was like, oh, do I want her car to be like that? And they were like, yeah, whatever you think. And I'm like, okay, now I got to just go on my gut. And it really was every day I was learning about trusting my own gut, because that's all this is. Like, you'd shoot something and you think in the back of your head, I wonder if I should get one more that's like a little bit more subtle just to have it. And then you go, no, we can move on. And then someone would come up and be like, do you want one more salty? And I'm like, gosh dang it, I knew it.
Right.
And I didn't trust it. So it's just a constant game of like learning how to trust yourself more, but
I was about to say,
that safety was nice.
I was about to say, a life in the arts. The evolution of it is about trusting yourself more and more.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting though, especially you have the eye. Now, when you have the eye for it, and you're like, oh gosh, do I want that shot or do I not? Yeah, let's do it. I know it's going to chew up time, but let's do it. And then you find yourself in the edit later, or you like. Do you have moments you're like, I'm so glad I trusted myself to get that shot, or are you kicking yourself sometimes because you're like, why didn't I do that?
You do have that sometimes, but honestly, like it's so funny. I don't know if I don't think I overshot. We had what we could get, and then we would have to move on. But there was like one shot that I kept being like, we need to go back and reshoot it, and we reshot it, and both times I was like, we don't need this scene, and we didn't end up using it. And I was like, you know what? I'm glad we got it because we felt a certain way about it. But it is interesting. It's better to have it, I guess, than to not have it. But yeah, there's things where you fight so hard, and then you're like, yeah, they were right. We didn't need that.
Yeah. There's a saying in music: you can't mute it if you don't record it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's better to have more and chop down than go, oh my God, we need this.
Well, I remember doing field pieces for The Daily Show. Like, if I was going down to Austin, Texas to film something. I had to get everything I could possibly think of, possibly. Because then when I got back to New York and I was in the edit bay, I was like, why didn't I ask this one question? It would have tied it all together. Or why didn't I get that one shot or that one, and so, you just start kind of shooting every possible thing and then hopefully take all that clay back to the shop and make something of it.
Absolutely. It's so good to just be like, okay, let's overthink this right now while we're here and we don't have to go back and everyone has to like add extensions again and do reshoots. I was like, I don't think we'll be able to do reshoots. So like, let's think it all out. And a lot of that was honestly just me and my DP Maria Rushi was just like thinking out every possible thing. And
that's huge. Getting your shot list too, I think is I'm sure you experienced this, but showing up and knowing we've got, 6, 7, maybe 12 setups today, and we got to get them all done.
Yeah.
That also it does keep you moving.
It keeps you moving. It keeps you moving. The good thing is I feel like, and you would probably feel this, have you ever directed anything?
Yeah, I did a little TV thing that no one ever saw, but I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Did you love doing it?
I did. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
But it was a lot more work. I think I kind of underestimated. I got a new respect for directors.
I know, because we walk on set and we'll be like, well, can we get this? And they're like, that would be great. Let's do that. They don't have time for it.
Right.
And now it's like, oh my gosh, you've seen the other side. You can't go back. It's like, you know now what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I forgot where I was going with this, but there is that thing where you go like, I had one moment on set where I remember we were running low on time. Like you could feel the energy of the crew just like running to get the next thing. Yeah. And it was Chloe Feynman and Liza Koshy and Nicole Byer were coming in to do their side of a scene. And we knew, they could tell. They're like, oh, we have a lot of time for this. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, tons of time. We're doing good. And I just kept like dancing around them. I was like, don't look at any of this. And like, we got in there and they did a take. And then we went again. And when I said cut on the second take, the first lady was like, we don't have any more time because you cut. Like, we don't have, like, that's it.
Yeah. And
I go, I don't know if we got it. I don't know if we, and then they walked out and I go, we got it in 2 takes. You guys did it.
Yeah.
And it's great. And then I walked to the back because that was the end of our day. And I walked to the back and I punched a wall, which is so not me. Yeah. I punched a fucking wall because I was so like, I wanted to give them more time. And then I called the editor and I said, can you put it together for me for tomorrow? And I'll look at what we have. And if we need to get it, we'll figure it out, like to push it into the schedule. But we got it and it looked great. And we were good.
Good. Oh, that had to feel wonderful.
Oh my God. Such a
but I hear you. There's so it's you have to be a jack of all trades. You really do have to be able to be a salesman. You have to be a counselor. You have to be a captain of a ship. You have to be, you have to be creative and you have to be positive and you have to have the right energy vibe. And I mean, by the end of a day, you are wiped out.
Oh, wiped out. I mean,
wiped out.
I remember at lunch, I would just go and lay down and literally listen to sounds of nature for like 10 minutes. And then I was like, I'm good.
How long was the entire shoot?
It ended up being 29 days. We had 28 days. And then one of our leads got COVID for 4 days of shooting and we couldn't use them. And like, it was like the back of someone else's head for 4 days. So,
oh, man.
And were you involved in like the process from the beginning, the funding and the whole?
No, all of that was kind of coming together because American High has a deal with Hulu. So,
okay.
And they had someone attached and then they weren't able to do it. So it was like a bit of like refiguring everything out and casting from the jump. And so a lot of, and I was reworking the script. So like, we basically, by the time we were going, had a new script, and then we're casting every single role. So for the majority of it, but like it wasn't greenlit until we had our stars, but it was like we were pretty sure we were in a good place to be going because they do a lot of these films with American High.
Okay, cool.
So, how did you land on your cast? Because have you met them through SNL, or how did you
The
get to know
majority
some
of the
of these?
people of like Charlie Day and Nicole Byer and Liza Koshy, all of them, Natalie Morales, all Paula Pell, I've known throughout,
Yeah.
doing different projects or being on SNL as a writer, and then Chloe I had never met. We have the same agent, and her agent was pitching her, and I was like, oh, that'd be really cool because I've seen her in different movies, but not in this sort of lead role, and definitely not the person. A lot of times, when you're coming out of SNL, they hire you to do the sort of like big, fun, crazy characters, and I felt like this one was a little bit more grounded, and I was just like, oh, I'm so interested to see her do something like that because there's still a lot of fun and improv and wild moments, but at the end of the day, she has a really beautiful arc in it, and I was excited to see her come in and do that. And then Sam Morello's the other lead. I mean, just a out of this world superstar, was going to blow up. Auditioned, had only done one other thing that was, the remake of that '70s show, that '90s show,
Yeah.
and by the way, got that because they like sent in a video of them being like, here's what I love about the '90s, and like they were like, yeah, you're it, you're
the guy.
something special. So
Wow.
yeah, so it was just, and shout out to our casting director Melissa Delizia because she found so many great people.
Oh yeah, I mean Alex Moffat, and
Moffat.
I knew Paula from my time on SNL, and
Yeah.
and
Gosh.
Charlie, I've known Charlie for a while. He's amazing. So, but it's so cool to see the cast that you were able to assemble. I mean, by the
so
way,
much
I want to go back real quick if you don't mind, because we just had the SNL 50th, and I want to talk about your time. You were a writer on SNL,
Yes.
right?
Yes. 2009 to 10.
How was your experience?
It's it's
I do.
like
and I appreciate your.
I'm like
It's
it's
hard. It's hard.
Wonderful, and it's hard,
Yeah.
and you learn a lot, and you grow up quick. I feel like that was the thing. Like I was 24 when I started writing on that show, and I was
Where
like,
did you grow up, if you don't mind me asking?
I grew up in Las Vegas, so
In Las Vegas, like Henderson?
Henderson. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's
okay.
awesome.
I have
Very cool.
I have a good friend and guitar player who lives in Henderson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I used to do a regular show at Green Valley Ranch Casino.
Oh my gosh, I've stayed there so many times.
Yeah?
No, I love the Valley Ranch. Yeah, I'm from Vegas, moved to LA, and then the only other place I've lived was New York for that 1 year. But
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract. I was curious.
no,
But you're right. I think it's a I wouldn't trade a second of it. A second of it. But it's a hard place. It's tricky.
it's a tough place, and you gotta have your cheerleaders there. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, mine was Emily Spivey. Paula had left, but she
Love
had come.
Spivey.
Isn't she the best?
Yeah.
The best. She's
Yeah.
such a mama bear. And I just saw Jessie Klein yesterday. I was doing her podcast, and she came in at the same time as me, and we were just talking about how crazy those days were, because she was in the tightest office with 3 people. There was one that was just lodged in a corner, Christine Nagel, and we were like,
Yeah.
how does anyone thrive here?
Yeah.
And yet I'm so glad I did it. I'm so glad that in hindsight, I really wanted to be on the show, but I'm so glad that it didn't go that way, because I've done a lot of other really fun stuff, and what I learned from there, I take everywhere, like being able to write for different people's voices is so incredible. And I'm coming up with the Groundlings. I came through the Groundlings, and you learn to write for your own voice.
Yeah.
So that was the real spot where I was like, oh, I'm getting to learn how to write for like Kenan Thompson's versus Kristen Wiig versus Bill Hader. It's like it's such a incredible place to basically go to college.
Completely. Your Groundlings time. How was that?
Oh my gosh, it was the best time of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I went through the UCB in New York, the Upright Citizens Brigade, and I was lucky enough to be one of their first students. So like Amy Poehler was my teacher, Matt Walsh, Matt Besser, Ian Roberts. Like I had the original UCB guys as my teacher. So I felt so blessed.
Oh,
And I'm with you. Like that time in my life was such a special time
yeah.
of growth and friendships and chasing the dream and figuring things out. So is that kind of what you were experiencing in Los
Yeah,
Angeles, just on the other coast?
it just, it's that feeling where you're like, was that the last time we were all carefree? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
where it was just fun to be fun,
Yeah.
and you just wanted to make your buddies laugh, and you made all of your best friends that you carry through your life. Like,
Are you still friends with a lot of them?
oh, all of them. Like all of the people that I'm like, we lean on each other. I mean, it's like Fortune Feimster. It's fun because what I did was I was in Sunday company, which is like before you can be asked or cut from the groundlings or be asked to be a groundling. You're in the Sunday company for a year and a half. They make cuts every 6 months. So I was in my second 6 months, so the year of Sunday when SNL scouted. So I left to go write for a year. And when I came back, I was like, wrote a letter and was like, can I be back in? Because this is like the best. And when I was back in, it was a different group. Like there have been all these people that have left and gone through the program. So I got to be in with a whole new group and make a whole new group of friends. And I still like Fortune Feimster is one of my buddies that I was in it with. And
I love her.
She's
by the way.
funny.
She came to a charity event we have in Kansas City called Big Slick. She was amazing.
oh, she's the best. She's like, I made a joke at her wedding where I was like, because she asked me to do a speech and I said, who here thinks they're Fortune's best friend? And everyone raised their hand. I go, yeah, motherfucker, you got to pick one of us. Like,
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. The friends I made back when I was starting, I still do shows. We still get together and do shows down at Largo once a month, just to get up there and do improv and play with each other because we love each other and that's how we like to hang. Just like when you get together with your musician buddies and jam.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
It's the same,
Dude,
same vibe.
I like getting together with buddies who I haven't jammed with in years. And one of them will go, hey, I'm doing a gig at this little bar down the street. I'm like, let's go. And it reminds me of the feeling that I had when I was coming up playing small little clubs. And there's a different feeling that I get doing a tiny bar with my buddies or doing, an arena, 100,000 people at a festival. Yeah. It's, that's great and it's amazing. Yeah. But there's a thing where there's like 60 people in the room and you're just doing it and it's raw and it's in your face and I love that.
Yeah.
And it's just for them, like, it's 60 people that are getting to experience this one show that will never be the same again. Like,
Totally.
That's also what I love about improv too, is the show we did last month is not anything like the show we're doing next month or the month after, because there's no script. You just show up and you take the suggestions and you make the best of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I have when you were coming up in Vegas in high school, because clearly you're a naturally funny human being and creative. Were you funny in high school or were you shy in high school?
I probably like to think I was funny in high school, but I definitely loved doing improv. We did improv Fridays in our theater class, and so every day I would walk in and go, I think it's Friday. And they're like, no, Jillian.
Now it's Tuesday.
Now it's a freaking Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I liked being in all the plays, and so I was a theater kid for sure, but I definitely like to make people laugh. And yeah.
Are you constantly sliding in and out of bits? Because I find myself, I need to have people around me who are willing to do bits. Not all the time, but every now and then I need to just break the monotony with a bit. Do you find yourself?
I do that. It's funny because like I can feel when I'm like get too serious and I'm like I need a bit buddy around, like because that is fun. It makes it's like a brain exercise.
Yes.
Yeah.
People do like puzzles on their iPads or games, and it's like, no, this is our brain exercise. It's just doing
100%. That's a great way to put it.
Rob and I were driving to a golf course. First time we had ever carpooled, like we were new friends. This was right after Court introduced us.
Yeah,
and we were driving to a golf course. He was driving, and we were about 10 minutes from it. And and we're just being normal dudes, two guys just in a truck. And then he starts going into this bit, and I was like, oh. This is what we're doing. And it was
Well, the fact that you volleyed it back to me made me go, I think I got a new friend.
you have we just did karate. You have to join the party, otherwise you're just a douche, you know. And so it was at that moment where I felt the same way. I was like, this guy's a cool hang, and that was it.
Yeah, that's how you do.
A bit buddy.
A bit buddy.
It's a good friend test.
It's a great shorthand too to have with someone.
Totally.
Yeah.
I had a friend who the first time we met was at a breakfast, and I was like, hey, you know, you're kind of doing like, what's your deal and everything. And she had gone through the Groundlings program, and she hadn't gotten through to the next level. And she said, I'm just kind of going through it because of that. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And she goes, yeah, it's okay. I've paid an online witch to cast a spell on my career, so hopefully that'll work. And I go, I'm so sorry. What did you say your name was? You're going to be good friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
An online witch?
An online witch online is the best.
Everything about it is cool.
Yeah.
I know.
An online witch.
Yeah.
That's dude, I might have to do that. Online warlock.
Online karate, online Pilates. It's all good. Like that stuff is gold.
Did we just start a new business?
An online karate class. It's pretty cool.
That's killer.
I mean,
you get a digital belt. Let's go.
Yeah. So you love it. You love directing. It's obviously a passion that you've just discovered. Are you got the projects lined up now? What's going on?
I'm working on some right now that I'm hoping will be the next ones. Fingers crossed. I definitely have a lot of ideas that I'm like, they're at different stages of development, but that I'm like, oh, I hope this is the next one. So we'll see.
Maybe the next one.
Yeah.
Maybe the next one's called Bit Buddies. And they just do way too many bits and get themselves into all sorts of...
Don't say anymore.
Sorry.
We'll email you. We'll email you. We'll email you because I'm telling you, man,
I'm sorry.
This town is full of...
It flies out.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. No, I like it.
An email from bitbuddies@gmail.com.
Dude, Bit Buddies.
You'll know who it is. You'll know who it is.
It's all over the map because you've just put words.
It's just bits, but no
pants, and you're like, we'll riff on that.
Yeah,
it just says cactus, riff.
That's so good.
And then you guys do something with it.
Yeah, and then come back to me, and I'll put my name on it.
Yeah,
that's Hollywood.
That's Hollywood.
We did it.
Gosh.
It feels like that's a wrap. We did it.
It's almost too easy.
Are we having a cast party right now?
Yeah.
Q&A. It's all good.
Jillian, thanks so much for coming and talking to us.
Thanks for having me on. It's so lovely to talk to you.
I really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit more because I've only known you on screen. I mean, we appeared in the same movie.
Yes.
We did appear in the...
crushed in that.
No, not at all. But you did. Actually, you know, I got lucky on 21 Jump Street. I told them, I didn't tell them shit, but we were drinking at a bar in New Orleans, and they said, "Oh man, if this thing, you know, if we ever got a sequel, it'd be so fun to have you." I was like, "Oh, I'd love that." I go, "But I'm in jail," and they go, "Yeah." So a couple more drinks. I go, "Or you could do the 48 hours thing where you come, you know, try to get me out of jail to help you." Yes. And he goes, like Jonah had that look in his eye. He goes, "That's it. We'll come visit you in jail." And that's how how it all started. Just a couple drinks in the bar.
I can't imagine how long did you do? A full day or what was that?
Yeah, that was just a full day.
God, they must have just been laughing the whole day. You are so funny in it.
We had a good time. Well, you killed it in that as well, right? I mean,
yes,
please,
you did.
Come on.
Both of you. You know what? I'm just going to say it.
100% Slayer. But my point was I hadn't had a chance to actually meet you and talk to you, which I was kind of hoping I'd get to do like at the premiere or something like that. But I don't know. It just didn't materialize. So this was really nice for me because I wanted to meet you.
This is so nice. It's so nice to meet both of you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm a fan of both of yours, and thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Good talking to you too.
All right. Guys. Bye, Jillian.
Bye. And that's how you become a lovely person.
She is lovely.
God.
What a nice lady and so funny. I mean, honestly, there was a time when I would see her on all these things, and I was like, home run.
Oh, dude.
Not even like single or a double, like home run, grand slam, home run.
It freaked me out when she got on camera because she was so like composed, and on screen you just never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But she's so normal
in
a nice way.
But that's the thing. Like when I think of great comedians, comedic performers, especially like Will Ferrell, or they're very,
regular,
so calm, so pleasant,
that's
so nice. And then when they take that side of their personality for a walk, it's the best.
Yeah,
it's the best because you're like, oh, give me the good stuff.
It's awesome to see.
Yeah,
and you know what? It's cool for me to watch you two who are in the same movie.
Yeah.
Connect like that, and because I watch the performance, and I'm just a viewer. You were a participant, so was she. I've watched it, and I loved it. Yeah. Both of them, both performances, and to see you guys connect was cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. I'm a fan of hers, and so to be able to meet her was
cool. Badass.
Yeah, that was really cool. I'm super excited about that. All right, everybody. Well, this has been another home run podcast. Come on.
I don't want to disagree, but I would say grand slam.
Grand slam.
Grand slam. Fam, 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 fam.
I'm Rob Riggle.
I'm Darren Leader.
Thanks for joining us.